Hello everybody.
Hello guys. So, welcome to the first installment and probably the jankiest installment of the XDF Academy series, which is going to be a series of, stream slash tutorials hosted by Dekri and me. And what this is basically it's going to be a tutorial series for the movement mode XDF, which stands for Xonotic Defrag. Defrag meaning it's basically instead of shooting people like you normally would in an arena shooter, you will be using the movement that is part of the engine in order to complete parkour style maps, sort of.
Yeah, and the reason we're doing this is because most of the time when we're on the server on XDF just playing around, we see a lot of people joining in that are new, and they just ask questions like, guys, how are you going so fast? And it's natural because, a lot of the things here, a lot of the elements are non-trivial. You can't really figure it out yourself that easily. And instead of answering to them, people just mostly ignore them because, number one, it's too hard to explain on chat, like how to strafe. Number two, some people have really high egos and they think that they're just too good to help out, and they just say, no, I'm not going to talk to these people.
And we're not going to name any names, but yeah.
Okay. What else? Basically, you get the idea. So I think the main idea here came from that, just to help people out, the beginners. But not just the beginners, because we're going to bring it up a step. In this tutorial as well, actually, there's going to be a lot of material for more advanced players, some tips that we're going to share. Techniques.
Yeah, we're going to go through first place demos, and we're going to analyze exactly what makes them so good, and we're just going to try to explain our concepts through examples like that.
Yeah, exactly. So we just decided to start from setting up basically the config stuff and the HUD, because it's really important to get everything you don't need out of the way and just focus on things that you do need. The stream actually is going to be, we want to make it 1.5 hours, like for the best results, but we're not really optimistic about 1.5 hours, so maybe 1 hour 40 minutes tops. So that's that. So let's get started. I'm gonna reveal the game here. So let's configure some stuff. First is the HUD. This is the HUD editor, and you could basically take elements here, resize them. So here's the speed bar, for example. It's very important. We recommend you to put it just below the crossbar because you can see it really well without taking your eyes away from the crosshair too much. So just keep it somewhere below here. We recommend it this way. You don't have to. Not too small, but just a little bit bigger so you can see it. You do need the checkpoints and time. This is your personal best. This is the votes, and etc, etc. So for those who are just really new to Xonotic, you can do a bunch of stuff here. So Donald,
Yeah?
can you go through some of the must-have elements on HUD?
Alright, so on the HUD, the important parts are obviously the speedometer, which is what Dekri just explained.
Yep.
It just shows your speed, your acceleration, your maximum speed, so you can try to compare runs against each other by remembering what your maximum speed was at a certain point. The next very important thing, in my opinion, is the checkpoint comparison, which Dekri also explained then. I like to have the round timer at the very top, just so you know how much time is left in the round if you need to extend it, because maybe you want to grind, or you just want to go AFK because the map sucks and people don't want to end it. Next up, obviously, the chat panel. XDF is nothing without its wonderful community full of helpful and friendly players like us, giving us this wonderful tutorial series. Alright,
Yeah.
Next up, in my opinion, this is going to be a bit controversial. I like to have the weapons panel on the right.
This is it. I disagree with that, but please explain why you come to that conclusion.
Alright, so in some maps, in weapon maps, it can happen that there are invisible weapon pickup triggers. So let's say that I move from this side of the room. I don't know if you're watching me or not.
Yeah, 1 second. I'll just exit the setup. Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, so let's say I'm moving from this side of the room to that side of the room, right? Very normal. Now, let's say that there's an invisible wall right here that gives me the rocket launcher. Okay? Now, if you have the setting such that you don't change your crosshair for every weapon, you will not notice that you've been given a rocket launcher unless you have the game sound enabled, which Dekri does, and I don't. So these are just different methods of figuring out whether or not you've been given a weapon in the map, because that's easy to miss. And then you'll be wondering why all the records are so much faster than yours.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense when you basically bring up the crosshair stuff and all that. Makes perfect sense. What I do, I just keep the crosshair that changes, and I don't draw the weapon. I'm not trying to throw any stones at developers, no way. But I think they're just too big, even though they're semi-transparent. But they do block a lot of the things. So if you have some a slope that you're trying to hit under your feet, it's really easier if you don't have a weapon because it just has more view. So I just rely on the crosshair, so I don't need the weapon bar. So just whatever you guys like. This is individual. We're not really being strict about it. Pick your own stuff. Okay.
Yeah, pick your poison.
So that's the HUD, and the next thing we want to go briefly about is some of the commands that are must-have stuff. So
yeah, so if you were to download Xonotic from the Xonotic website right now, which is xonotic.org, in case you want to actually do it, there would be a lot of default values that you might want to adjust. Which is, we're not pointing fingers at the developers, but they're not us, so they wouldn't know the best default values, I guess. So the first command that we're going to go over is HUD_panel_physics_update_interval, and that's a bit of a mouthful. And we're going to set that value to 0. What this means is that the refresh rate of your speedometer, which shows your speed and your acceleration and all that, is going to be as high as it can be. Imagine if you were playing a game at 15 FPS. You don't want that. You want whatever your, refresh rate on your monitor is. So this just makes the game more responsive, and it makes you able to analyze your runs more thoroughly and in more detail.
Alright, Donald, why don't you enter some room, because I've just entered that command. I need you to keep up the speed for longer, so I can just demonstrate this. Okay, so basically you can see, I don't know how well you can see this because the stream is at a pretty low actually refresh rate, so you might not be able to see it actually, but try that out definitely. It's worth a try, I think. Alright, next command. HUD
the next
panel
command,
scoreboard.
Yeah, min width 0.8.
Yeah.
That's the value we recommend. What this does is, naturally on the scoreboard you would see the records on the map, which this map doesn't have any because it's not an actual defrag map, it's just a freestyle map. But you would see the records on that scoreboard. What this does is it allows you to fit more records at once onto your scoreboard, which just generally, shows you more of the leaderboards. It's just something we recommend. It's not necessary, but it's certainly a quality of life sort of change,
Yeah, if you're a beginner, you have to start somewhere. You will not be able to make it, to the top 10. So maybe you're number 35 or something, but you can't see it because it doesn't fit on your screen. So this just splits it in columns, and you will be able to see yourself, and it'll feel great. Okay, the next one is CL net FPS.
We recommend setting this value to anything above 60.
Yeah,
just whatever you want,
Alright, so do you care to explain what it is? Simply put, we don't have to...
Simply put it's the amount of times your client sends anything to the server. Exactly. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And why would you want lower?
Okay, no, but there is this thing we were talking about earlier that actually is a real life example that this command does affect your performance, because there is some unexpected behavior that happens if you have it low. Like, I'm talking about tellies and the ramps.
Right.
So do you want to elaborate on those? Yeah.
If you were to have a low CL_net FPS, and you were to enter a teleporter like this, where there's a wall behind it, you see that? That's a wall. It is possible that you were to you might enter the teleporter, you send that to the server is slow, so it doesn't respond immediately. Then, because you haven't been teleported away, you are also going to hit the wall that is behind the teleporter. So you enter the teleporter, you hit the wall, you lose your speed, and then you get teleported. And then, obviously, at the end of the teleporter, you're going to start with 0 FPS. So it's important that if you are, experiencing that issue, that you set your CL_net FPS to something higher than 60, as to avoid that issue.
Yeah, and I'm sure that more advanced players did encounter where they are entering the teleporter and they just stop, or they drop massive amount of speed, and they try to think of why this may happen. Maybe it's because I was strafing while entering and stuff like this. Well, these are all myths, and it's because you're actually hitting a wall behind the teleporter, right? Or maybe it just didn't trigger the teleporter entry because of that net FPS is too low. Let me just check out the chat real quick. What?
There's nothing happening here.
Okay, good. That's good that you're monitoring that.
Moros asked, how long do we expect the stream to be? 1 hour 40 minutes, hopefully. No more than that.
Yeah, but if you are on a rush, don't worry about it, because we will archive the video. You will be able to watch it later or catch up to it. All right, next command, without further ado, is CL curl max speed.
What this does is basically it allows you to download maps faster. That's all it is.
Yeah, and there's a lot of downloading when it comes to XDF. Yeah.
My maps folder is approaching 100 gigabytes, so you really might want to consider putting this to something that your connection can still handle, but that is fast, It's in, I believe, megabits per second or something like that. Just set it to, something in the thousands, and you're going to be fine.
Yeah, and then also max downloads is basically how many concurrent downloads you can have. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
CL.
Then, yeah.
Race CP times only self. Now this is kind of I would say optional, right?
Yeah, it's optional, definitely.
So what's 1/0? What is that?
Alright, so this command, we mentioned how you can see your splits in the checkpoint timer panel in the HUD. And normally, by default, this will compare against the server's best splits. So you wouldn't compare against your own best splits. This is the command you would use if you wanted to only see your own splits. If you wanted to improve, focus solely on improving yourself, then this is definitely a command you might want to use, because it's of no value to you to know how much time is between you and the server number 1, when it would be much more important for you to know how much better you're doing than you did previously.
Exactly. I think if you're just starting out, this is great, because you'll just focus on yourself. There's maybe not a lot of people you can beat yet, but you can always improve your own time. And also, one of the other things is, if you have a really good player, and he sets a good checkpoint, and it's always you're behind by, let's say, half a second, and you get used to that. Half a second becomes your the orientation that you're looking at 0.5 and you're comparing your performance to that 0.5. But then he improves it suddenly, and now it becomes 0.6, and you're not really sure if you're doing worse or he improved. So this kind of starts messing with your mind a little bit. So definitely worth a try if you feel like it. Okay, now I think we're into situational stuff right now.
Yeah, so we're going to switch to a different map to elaborate and explain why this might be of use.
Okay, what map is that? Could you just vote?
One that Packard did not put on the server.
Oh, really? Maybe I've...
Yeah.
It's probably my mistake, because I was responsible for...
Okay, well, the next command is r_show collision brushes.
Yeah.
And what this does is it allows you to make visible the normally invisible collision brushes that you would encounter on a map. So imagine there's an invisible wall behind the spawn. You can't fall off from the spawn. That would allow you to make that wall visible. And this is of use sometimes because there may be invisible walls that might hinder a good strat or your run or whatever. And that can happen, and this will just allow you to actually see where that wall is and maybe work around it, or accept that the run might not happen that way.
Yeah.
And normally we would have had an example, but I guess you still get the point of it.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what invisible walls are.
Exactly. Sometimes you think that you can take a shortcut or cut a corner, but then you get stuck, or like there's an invisible wall. And sometimes some maps have gaps. So it's important to kind of take a look. If you encounter invisible walls, just take a look around. And obviously it's a floating point value, so you can do it very intense. Like 1 is
so it controls the
really
opacity
intense.
of the collision brushes.
0.1 is very subtle. I just like to put it 0.3, 0.4. This is enough for me to feel okay. All right. Let me put it to 0, and let's go ahead and do the... Oh, there's one other must-have command, the bind kill button. So I'll explain this. This is pretty pretty simple. So a lot of people ask, how do you kill yourself so I can start over? Well, it's kill command. So Donald, if you type kill in console, you'll die, right? Yeah, but it's annoying to type kill all the time like this, so instead you can bind it to a key, and well, bind k kill is the I don't recommend that. But
alright, so you
actually,
can send it to any key that you want.
Yeah,
obviously.
preferably somewhere near your left fingers, so.
Or you can do it like I did.
Oh yeah, Donald has a very
bind-
non-standard stuff. Like, can you elaborate on that, because don't you have like half of your keyboard is a kill?
Yeah, so what I did, at first I just bound K to kill because it was, that made sense, K for kill. But then I kept missing the key because it's on the other side of the keyboard. And then I just decided, I don't want to get rid of the habit of trying to press K, so I just bound the entire right half of my keyboard to the kill command. So I just have to press anywhere on the right side, and I can restart that way. It's very convenient, I'd say.
Alright, and also one must-have. Well, it's not really a must-have, it's situational again. Can you kill yourself, Donald? Okay, stay here. This is a pretty dark room, and sometimes the whole map is like this. And the reason is, you could actually regulate that. Our ambient... Oh, wait, actually it's 20 for me now. The default is 4, so it's actually... The default is really
It's going to be really dark, yeah.
Yeah, so if you experience a very dark map and you don't like it, just set the value higher than that. I used to have 40 for a long time, and it worked really nicely until I encounter a really white map, then it really hurts the eyes. So can you enter the room again?
Which room?
The one that you were just in. Okay. Well, it's fine. I mean, it's not. It's kind of bright, yeah, but. So just...
It's always a balancing act, you're gonna have to find your own, what you're comfortable with yourself, because some maps are gonna be darker, some maps are gonna be brighter, some map parts are gonna be dark, and others are gonna be bright. You're just gonna have to figure it out by yourself. But the important part is that it's possible to adjust it. You're not stuck on some super dark map where you just can't tell what's going on.
Alright. Donald, have we covered everything?
I think so.
Okay, so now finally it's time to get to something exciting.
Yeah.
And it's strafing, of course. So, Donald, let's go ahead and teach them strafing. Do you want me to do the building blocks, or you can do it?
No, I can do it, I guess.
Alright, okay, so...
Alright, are you watching me?
Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically tell you what to do and how to basically combine things, and you're just going to show it. How about that?
Alright.
Alright, so please walk. So you can see here it's 320 quake units per second. There's no acceleration at all. You could finish a map like this, no problem, but we can do...
You might want to jump sometimes.
Yeah, so now if you add the jump to it, you can see now you have an acceleration. And this is actually also a way to finish a map. And you can even turn and turn around even. I don't know if you can turn around with that narrow corridor. Just using W and jump. Yeah, you can. So you can see he already gained 650 quake units per second. So he can just grow, and he can even go through, to 1,000. But it's really slow. There's a better way. So we're missing a few more factors here, and that's exactly strafing. Strafing is basically strafing keys A and D for most people. Strafe left and strafe right. And when you strafe, hold the strafe key and then move your mouse in the same direction, you can see there is acceleration going on. And this concept focuses on the symmetry as well, so you can do it on the left or on the right.
You can see I have to balance on which side I do it because the corridor is very narrow. If I just go one side all the time, I'll eventually just crash into the wall.
Yeah. Is there a room where we can demonstrate some turns, basically?
Yeah.
I don't want to, get too much ahead, but it's important to note that if you're strafing only in one direction, you will crash into a wall. So you do need to change these up. So, Donald, let's do the strafing again, very simply. Just show. Yeah. So what he's doing right now is he is basically, as you can see on the arrow keys, pressing forward, strafing, jumping, and the mouse movement is actually very important. You have to move it very subtly.
Very constantly, very smoothly. That's the point.
Yeah.
So basically, if I hold my left strafe key, I want to move it to the left of where I'm going. You can see my direction of movement is straight ahead if I'm doing this, right? I'm looking exactly where I'm going. Now if I want to strafe, I would have to deviate from that like this. I'm going to look a little bit diagonally to the left or to the right, if I were to do that. And this angle naturally will increase over time. I'm going to look further and further away from where I'm actually going the faster I go, if I still want to accelerate through strafing.
Yeah, actually, it's kind of hard to see because there's no regions drawn on this, near the speed bar. So I can actually draw it on GIMP. I don't know if I should, but
I don't know. I mean, people will figure it out. You can see, I'm hardly looking where I'm going at this point.
Okay, yeah. So basically, imagine that there is a region, a horizontal bar, for example, like a speed bar. Just imagine that. And in the middle of that bar, there's a dead zone. You don't accelerate here. Try to slightly move your mouse to the left while strafing left. See, he doesn't gain acceleration. Or the right, same thing, doesn't gain. But if he goes further, you see he hits that region of strafe, and this is one of the trickiest parts about strafing is basically to be aware of these regions. Now the trouble is
I'm not seeing these regions, by the way. This is all muscle memory for me.
Exactly. So here's the point. The faster you go, the further away from the center the strafe regions are.
Reminder: this is where I'm going. This is where I have to aim.
Yeah. So now, if you go slow, though, just demonstrate the slow. Say he's really close to the center, but he's hitting these regions because the speed is low. So the regions are dynamic; they move according to what speed you're going with, and that's very important to understand. Also, one other thing is, the faster you're going, we already said that the wider the angle is, but also the smaller the range is. Because if you overshoot, you're not strafing. It's very sensitive. It's like a little region, and the faster you go, the less you have space to strafe.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain.
So you can see here I'm accelerating, and then already I'm not accelerating.
Yeah.
I'm accelerating, I'm not. It's really just the faster you go, the more precise you have to be in your strafing angle.
Exactly. But if you go slow, you have a lot of space. You can go, you see how far he goes and he still strafes? That's because, well, first of all, it's we already said it's very close to the center, and second is that you have a more space to position your crosshair. Now, the another important factor is when you switch directions. Okay, you can see.
In what way? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like you can see that when he's strafing, he's very smooth with his mouse movement. You can barely see it. I mean, when you look at him strafing right now, you can probably see the crosshair like kind of not moving at all, but it actually is moving, but really slowly, because you have to move the mouse in order to, trigger the acceleration.
Yes, so while strafing you can see I'm very smooth, but then when I'm switching directions I have to flick across. This is what you want to do. Okay, I don't want to see this.
Okay.
Because then you spend so much time in the dead zone in the center where you just don't accelerate.
Yeah, exactly. You want to skip that dead zone as fast as possible. It's like try to basically have your crosshair teleport from left to right, just like a teleport. Exactly, that's really good. And obviously this is all muscle memory, because you have to kind of understand where these regions are. You will not be able to do it in one go, in one try. Unfortunately, it takes time to train. So the way I recommend to train is this: focus on, snapping. Focus on teleporting the crosshair, even if you're not hitting the strafes. Still try to, you'll be able to find those regions after a while, and then, but still try to snap. That's the most important.
This is why it's important to see your acceleration in the speedometer, because like this, I'm not accelerating, right? You can see my acceleration is 0 or negative. And so it's important that if you get that you feel your way around with the crosshair, and you just kind of realize, oh, I aimed too far, oh, I didn't aim far enough, by seeing at what point your acceleration increases.
Yeah, exactly. And also the acceleration bar provides useful information when you're just starting to strafe, because what you're doing is you're kind of dragging that curve. You're going right, and you're dragging that curve, and you're looking. Okay, I'm still at 30. Okay, I change. So like it's really important in the beginning as well to keep the highest number of G's as possible.
Yeah. Okay. To address some questions in the chat, no, you don't have to time your jumps like in Counter-Strike. You can just hold jump. Oh, like I'm doing. I think Decree is showing my keys.
Yep.
If he's not, that's the problem.
No. It's large and big.
Okay. So you can see I'm just holding jump, and I'm keeping my speed, no problem. You don't have to time jumps like in Counter-Strike. That would be fucking awful.
Yeah. So like for example, Quake 3 Defrag also is an example where you have to time the jump.
Yes.
So if you come from Quake 3 Defrag, then that would be a.
This is a lot more simple in that regard, a lot more relaxing in my opinion.
Exactly. Yeah.
Alright, so I think we've explained strafing. I'm going to go a TLDR. You do this. You hold W and left or right, and depending on which direction you hold, you move your mouse in that direction. The angle from at which you deviate from your direction of movement increases with speed.
Alright, so now
let's,
yeah, go ahead. You introduce.
Alright, so the next thing... is this the next thing?
No, we're gonna unveil.
Oh, yes. I forgot about this. I'm very well prepared. So we're gonna have a little bit of a guest come in, a little bit of, a guinea pig, if you will, and he's gonna show us what he can do right now and what we can help him with.
Now, this guy is quite new to Defrag, and he's very determined and very hardworking and very motivated. So he has had a lot of good progress.
That's enough talking him up. Let's get him in here.
All right, okay, let's go. Kissebrot, man. Wait.
All right, let's hope he's here.
Yeah, well, there's a delay. He's watching, so he'll enter randomly. So
right, that's true.
He's still listening to his intro. He's like, oh, I don't know, should I come in? Oh.
Yeah, so okay, I guess now is the time to talk him up. He's I'd say a mid-level player who's had some experience in Defrag, or well, Xonotic Defrag rather. And he's certainly someone who can learn a lot right now. He's in that phase where he's going to gain a lot of ranks very quickly because he's still, ironing out the basics. And I think we can definitely help him with that. There he is.
Hey, how are you doing, dude?
I'm fine.
All right, let's go. I'll
Totally
spec you.
determined.
Can you join the server?
Yeah, you just join the server.
Yeah.
Yep.
By the way, how much time has passed already?
Probably way too much. We might
Half
want to
an hour.
keep going. Like, you know, I think that 1 hour 40 minutes. I don't know if that's a good idea.
Yeah, if we can't cover some of the stuff that we want to cover, we'll just probably move it to part 2. But
Nah.
you know, the strafing part really is important, so we really had to.
So, are you watching him right now, Dekri?
Yeah, I am.
Alright, so what you can see here is that he definitely knows how it works. He's pressing the right buttons, he's trying to do the right thing. For him, it's mostly a matter of muscle memory. You can see his transitions between the strafe angles. It's not really a flick as much as it is like a quick mouse movement. And this is you're going to optimize this, the more you play, the more feel you get for where the regions are and all that. And you can see, at this point, the regions are very precise. And it's taking him a lot of time to find that region because he doesn't know exactly where to flick. Again, this is usually just fixed by practicing it a lot, training your muscle memory and really getting it down.
Yeah, like around 1500 quake units per second, though, he has been overshooting a lot for a little bit. But he's got it back down. He's more comfortable around 1900. Wait, can you start again, Kissabro? We want to see your beginning. Yeah, like he was going like 12 to 20 at first when he should be going 30 to 40. So he definitely has a lot of room for improvement. Right now he's not really feeling these regions. Like, let's see 1500. Okay, this is much better than the last time. He's definitely having... Okay, I think the first one was like a warm-up. This one is much better.
Yeah, he was a bit nervous, but now he's doing better.
So, okay, the flicking is basically... changing direction flicks are like what you should focus on. This will improve your run a lot.
Yeah, in any run you want to optimize the amount of time... You want to maximize the amount of time you can spend strafing, because whenever you strafe you gain speed. And if you have more speed, you're just going to have a faster time. So you want to try to cut out that time where you try to find the region, and you want to just flick to it directly, all the time.
Now here's the tip. If you feel like you don't know where the region is and you're looking for it, try to not overshoot it. Try to go a little bit shy. And then what you do is you kind of slowly move your crosshair a little bit more until you find the region. That's a little bit better than overshooting, because when you're overshooting... you're basically going nuts. You're really ruining it for yourself. You can't really recover from that very well.
All right. So now I think he knows where he has to improve his strafing. It's just, like I said, a matter of practice at this point. So I think we can move on to the next concept, which is turning. Yeah. And if you would be so nice to watch me.
Okay.
I'm in the wrong room.
There are two main ways you can turn, Donald.
Yes.
Right?
So there are W turns, which is if I'm gonna just gain some speed right here. This is a W turn.
Yeah.
I can turn like this, holding just W, no problem.
Okay.
And this is useful if you don't know how to turn any other way and you're not comfortable, or this is a bit more advanced. If you want to strafe, quickly adjust your angle, or quickly turn and then strafe again. This is what I always do if I'm trying to, gain speed like this, and I can still strafe.
Yeah, this is what you should do. Yeah, I just wanted to stress that if you have an opportunity to make these turns, make them, because they are really you get the maximum strafe possible. You can fit the maximum strafe possible in your run if you can turn this way. If you're not going super fast and the turn is not super tight, and you think you can tackle that corner in this way, you strafe, release, strafe, release, strafe, release, strafe. So you release the strafe, you make the turn, but then you get back into strafe as soon as possible without losing much time. This is crucial. The tighter your turns are, the better.
Yeah, the tighter your turns are, the worse of an approach that's going to be. You could see when I was doing that, I was maxing out at around 1100 EPS. That's just because this method has its limits, for sure.
Yeah.
And, just again, this is what you do. No problem. The other way which is going to be the more effective way if you actually want to do turns rather than like trying to gain speed like this, is letting go of W. This is going to be really weird to people who are new to this mode, and instead using A and D in my case, your left or right keys in order to turn like this. What you want to do is you want to hold that key, and you want to smoothly. A lot of mouse movement is about being smooth in defrag. Smoothly move in that direction.
Yeah, can you do it not smoothly to demonstrate what happens if you don't do it smoothly?
Okay, let me gain some speed. At this, yeah.
Oh, did you mention that you have to release the forward key?
Yes, you have to release the forward key. If you do this, you want to try to hold both. You're just going to strafe.
Yeah.
Which is what we already did. So if I turn not smoothly, you can see that I lose speed because whenever you try to turn like this, there's a maximum rate at which you can turn without losing speed. This is again another muscle memory thing. This is a thing you want to get a feel for just through practice. And I'm going to elaborate on this. If I'm going 300 units per second, I can turn very quickly. Like pretty much on the spot. But if I try to do that with, let's say, 900 UPS, I'm obviously going to lose all my speed. So this rate decreases the faster you go, which is the same as with strafing. It decreases as you get faster. And yeah, like I said, you always want to try to turn at the maximum rate without losing speed. Because if you don't, and you turn too quickly, you lose speed.
Yeah, and basically, these are the two main turns. Sometimes it's not as obvious on what you should use. You kind of have to experiment. Sometimes you try tackling these corners using strafes, and then release strafes and then strafes, and see if it works better. But generally, the strafe turning. Is it okay if we call it strafe turning? It's not an official term, but
what's the strafe turning?
The strafe turning is when you release the forward key and then you do the turn.
Like this.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
You can call it strafe turning, you can call it AD turning, you can call it whatever you want.
Alright,
but
so
the point is you release W.
Yeah, these strafe turns are really good at tackling really tight turns at a higher speeds. But if you're actually just accelerating and you need to accelerate and then you're not going so fast and the turn allows you to just take strafes and then release strafe and then strafe again, do that. Experiment.
This is going to become more obvious as we go into demos later on or in some later part. It's you just have to get a feel for what's the right thing to do.
Donald, do we have a map that you can
for what?
For the strafe turning or
sure.
Okay, let's just vote the map and then have Cheesebread try that. Or maybe
I'm gonna show how it's done, and then Kiesa bot is gonna try it. Okay?
I could also play a demo to show these points of turning.
We can see if I can do it live.
Okay.
And then if I fuck it up, you can do the demo.
All right.
All right. Are you watching?
Okay, I'm watching it.
So this start here is is a straight corridor with some little holes in the floor like that. This is where I would do a W turn. Let's see that again. The first part is just strafing, right? This is just pure acceleration, and this turn is not tight. I can hold W here, go through, and then strafe again. But this turn is gonna get very difficult if you try to do it with W. So I do a what's called a AD turn or a strafe turn or whatever. I release W, and then I try to go through the turn. So again, first part is strafing. This is why strafing is so important, because a lot of maps are going to have straight corridors like this, where you can just gain a lot of speed. And if you can see, if I try to do this turn with W, it looks really janky. I might hit a wall because I don't have as much control over where I'm going. So if you see a turn that is tight like that, and you don't want to lose speed, it's definitely the better way to do it by releasing W and holding A or D like this. Now, this is something that I have to make a PSA on because I see a lot of people making this mistake. If you strafe in one direction and then you want to make it turn in the same direction, don't just transition normally. What you would do is this, and then you can see I lost 200 units. Why did I lose 200 units? Because if you're strafing, you're not looking where you're going, right? You're offset. I'm going this way, I'm looking that way. And then if I hold, if I only do D now, if I only hold the right key because I want to do a turn, part of it, as you can see, is going backwards because of my angle. So if I try to do that, if I try to, I don't know why I'm having these lags. Is that just me, or is that Packer fault?
It's probably Packer fault, dude.
So if I try to strafe and then don't adjust my aim, you can see I lose a bit of speed. Now the way to avoid this is by resetting your aim. And this is going to be really difficult. But what you do is this. You flick to where you're going. You can see this a lot in the later maps if we try to show some demos of it. But basically this is just so that you avoid losing that little bit of speed. And I don't know if I explained this well enough.
Yeah, let me also just try this move right there. I'll join the server real quick, if you can spec me, because the way I thought of it when I learned it, so you strafe like this. So of course I haven't really practiced this map. This gap messes me up, but okay. So once you get here, what I do is just I kind of position my cursor. Okay, well basically just I release the strafe and I keep it on the center of the screen. That's what I do. I kind of position it to the center before I can strafe turn. That's what I do.
Now what I noticed there was that before the big turn, Dekri stopped strafing and he just stabilized himself and went forward without strafing. That's what I'm talking about with like you want to optimize the amount of strafing you're gonna do. If you wanna, can you restart the run completely?
Yeah, sure.
So that you go at the right speed.
I'll try not to fail at this little gap because
I
have a bad. Okay, there we go.
You can see he strafes, and then already there he stops, and then he barely makes the turn right there.
Yeah.
This is something that you really want to optimize and practice a lot.
Yeah, basically, really, it comes after a few tries on the map, but. Yeah, you're right. I know what you're saying. Basically, this is true. But you want to set yourself up for the turn as well. You want to start turning in advance. We haven't really talked about this yet. Let me just demonstrate what I mean. So, okay, I'm gonna fall in this gap again. Don't mind me. So anyway, I'm going here, but I want to start turning in advance before the turn. Before the turn, I'm already turning, just because I'm setting myself up for that turn. If I start turning too late,
this would be.
What?
Yeah? Yeah, so if you start turning too late, you don't turn enough in time. But I think this would be best illustrated with a slowdown in the demo.
Okay.
Because I do it as well. I also set myself up for the turn.
Alright, let's go ahead and investigate the demo then. So, unfortunately, it's going to be inconvenient because Donald's not going to see it because he can't play the demo online. What's the map name again that we're on right now?
Slick SL1K-42.
Okay, this is it.
By the way, guys, if you want to know the map name that you're on, you can hold tab and it will show up on the scoreboard.
There it is, on the bottom.
Little pro
green.
tip for you guys.
So, yeah, we're fast forwarding this. We don't have any better technology than this, so bear with us. Okay, now... I think... Yeah, so this is the run, basically the first place. So he does the pre-jump first. Okay, this is the first turn here. So you see he released the strafe key. Okay, now he centers the crosshair here. And then he starts turning in advance. Yeah, that's a really tight turn. Good job.
Yeah, a lot of the turns, you know, if you get to the higher levels, are going to be about finding that maximum rate at which you can turn, and always trying to turn as quickly as you can. And then, you know, if that's not enough, you might want to, before the turn even starts, you might want to try to set yourself up for the turn, so you already go in at an angle. I don't know, did I do that in that demo?
Yeah, you did. Everything.
Okay, so yeah. You don't want to go straight ahead into the turn and then get surprised when you hit the wall. You want to really try to set yourself up for it. You want to think about how the map works and then try to adjust for that.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, so I'm going to do another TLDR because I think that's enough. I think that's all we need to say.
Go ahead.
So, turning. You can either turn with just W. So if you do it like this, no problem. Or you can hold only A or D, like you let go of W, and you can turn like this. The those are two different types of turning, and they both have their advantages. The W turn, as I like to call it, where you hold W, is a lot more comfortable. You don't have to flick around or anything, and it's what most new players will use when they're cruising through the map like this. They don't need to do anything else because they're just not at that skill level yet. That's also very convenient when you try to strafe, get around a corner, strafe again, get around a corner, strafe again. It allows you to do that, and allows you to just maximize the amount of strafing you do. The other turn type is where you let go of W, you hold only A and D. This is a lot more controlled. You can do a lot tighter turns with that. And also, this is something you guys might not realize, you can gain more speed by turning left and right. You can see my acceleration right now is like in the 20s if I do that, rather than the default 0.04 acceleration that you get from turning with W. And that's it. That's all that there is to turning right now.
I have one more thing to say though that we haven't really stressed on. When you're strafing, try not to change directions too frequently.
Yes, you want to minimize the amount of arcs that you do, so don't do this, okay?
Okay, that's too extreme. If you can show it a little bit more subtly, I think maybe Kizibot will basically do that.
Alright, Kizibot, are you there?
Yeah, obviously.
Alright, obviously, okay. Okay, of course he had a benefit of watching Donald for a long time. Okay, so you see he does a little bit they're too frequent. Okay, you have to
And I hate this.
Okay.
Yeah, so he doesn't really... what you want to do all the time is you want to carry every arc as far as it can go. What he does... He doesn't do that because he, doesn't really know how to control his movement if he does that. He tries to play it safe by not really going everywhere, yeah?
Yeah, the first couple of switches that he does after the circle jump, which we're going to cover later, is actually pretty good. I mean, he actually stretches them for long, but then once he gains the speed at the end of that corridor, he starts switching directions a lot faster. So, Kizibot, can you show the turning again? We're going to focus on that now.
You can see he isn't comfortable with the W turn there, so he does an AD turn instead.
Yeah.
And here, obviously, it's the right move,
Yeah.
one way or another.
Try to make a straight, I don't know how to call this turn, the basic turn.
The W turn.
Yeah.
Oh, the W turn. Okay.
Right.
Try to do a W turn at
W
the first.
Okay.
So see, he didn't do it, he didn't get a good W turn there because he tried to go into the turn without preparation. He just went straight ahead and then tried to turn. That's better, it was still tight.
Yeah.
But if I could elaborate on that for a second.
Yeah, let's watch Donald do it. Kizibot, try to get maximum information from him right now. Wait, Donald, hold on. Do it. Go ahead.
Alright, so what I was talking about is when I hit that corner, I'm already in the I'm already strafing in the direction that I want to turn. So let me show that. You see, I'm strafing right here. And what you don't see me do is when I approach that corner is strafe to the left, because that is just going to make the turn really awkward. I had to flick halfway across my screen there. And that's what I meant with preparing the turn. If I'm going into that turn, I want to be strafing that direction already. You could see I was strafing to the right. Here I am again strafing to the right. And then at this point I just have to switch to the AD turn because it's, I'm going too fast.
Alright, basically another way to put it, Kizibot, try to actually turn really close to the wall. Kind of tight. Not too far away from the wall. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Alright, let's give it a try one more time. Oh yeah, sure.
Because it seems to be like he's actually moving to the left to get to the left wall before he's doing the turn to better align himself.
Exactly.
It's the same concept with racing. If you ever seen Formula 1 racing, they also stick to the opposite side before making a turn because it gives you more space to make that turn.
Okay, so the space is more important than the shorter distance but would have.
Yes, because that spacing would allow you to keep more speed if the turn were to be really tight.
Yeah, this is a good setting up factor as well for the turn. I mean, setting up for the turn. This definitely is important. So Kesapot, let's try this. And then we can move on. Alright. Okay, you're too far.
You didn't do it there. Yeah, you were on the left side, but you weren't strafing into the turn, like right before it was about to happen.
Wait, come closer to the wall, to the wall, to the wall. Yeah, there you go. That's better.
Yeah, but I actually still made the turn.
There you go. That's
nice.
better.
That's a lot
now you
better
were strafing into it.
And here's where you want to do the AD turn. One more time.
And now strafe right.
Yeah.
That's obviously a bit of a difficult thing to control because right now this is new to him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, normally he would just strafe however he's comfortable, but now he's trying to strafe in a way that would maximize his speed and minimize his distance overall. And so you're like, if anyone at home is trying that, don't be discouraged if you fail. Okay, all of us have spent a lot of time grinding these maps.
Yeah, it's a matter of practice. But I can see that Kesapot has some talent because he's already improving.
No, he's completely talentless. Nothing.
All right, let's move on.
All right. The next thing I want to talk about is something called overaiming.
Okay.
Which we're going to go to a different map on. So remember how I talked about there being a maximum rate at which you can turn without losing speed?
Yeah.
We can use this in order to lose speed very quickly. If we want to intentionally lose speed, say we're going really quickly, and there's a turn coming up that we just cannot possibly like get through at the speed that we're going. So this is one of those maps that has a turn like that. And of course I get stuck there. But basically, you know how you can gain a lot of speed here, and then you go into this section, and this turn is really difficult. It's very tight. And that's where a technique called overaiming, which is basically turning too quickly on purpose in order to lose speed, comes in.
Yeah. Do you remember when Donald was showing the AD strafing and then he demonstrated what happens if you turn too fast? Well, this is what he's basically doing, but he's doing it on purpose to drop some speed so he can make the turn.
So you guys saw where I did the flick. I'm going to do it again and pay extra attention this time.
Yeah, there it is. So let me show the demo because it's kind of hard to see.
Yeah, pull up the demo and do it in slow motion.
So tell me the map name again.
DFWC 2010-0. If you hold tab, you can see that.
Yeah. I'd rather ask you 10. Wait, let me see.
Just because you like my voice so
10-0.
much.
Am I blind? DF?
WC 2010-0. It might be that Packard didn't send you a demo for it.
That could be it. I don't see it.
Do you have R7-suburbs? I think you have a demo for that.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, then let's switch to that and I can show you where it happens.
Yeah, show it live. Show it live first, yeah.
So the Reflex players, if there are any Reflex players watching this stream, they would know this map because I mentioned it to them as a map that has a lot of difficult turns. A map where you don't strafe as much as you just try to not lose speed. And the reason I like this map for this concept is that there is a lot of over-aiming that you have to do. Are you watching?
Yep. Let's go.
Alright, so I'm going to avoid talking right now because I need to control this.
Yeah.
You can see I already hit a lot of walls just because the turns in this map are so fucking hard. And you can also see whenever I'm not turning, I'm trying to squeeze a little bit of strafing in.
Alright, just give him a cue on when you're over-aiming.
Now, right here.
Okay.
Because this turn right here is basically a 180-degree turn that is extremely difficult at anything like above 700 EPS. So if you want to go into the demo and show them why or like how I do it.
Sure. So R7 suburbs.
Why is overaiming better than pressing S? Actually, are you still here? No,
No, I'm already there. But
alright, the rate at which you decelerate using overaiming is far, far quicker than holding S. If you were to hold S, you would gradually grind to a stop, and if you overaim correctly, you can stop within like 200 milliseconds.
You might feel like you're better S-ing that, but that might be just because you lack the practice for overaiming.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. This is it. This is the run. Yeah, I'm gonna slow down here. These turns are all kind of the same. Okay, this is not the turn. This is it, I think. Nope, that's not it. This is it. Oh, there he is. Did you see him flick there? So he's purposefully dropping speed because you could see how fast he was moving his crosshair. So he dropped about, I think it was 120 Quake units per second. And you actually did it in 2 parts, Donald. You didn't do it in 1 flick. You did actually 2 short flicks.
Well, yes, I'm not perfect.
No,
ideally, I know. Ideally, you would want to do it in 1 flick, but you just do it in whatever way is comfortable, you know.
Yeah, like for example, he did it probably, and then he thought, oh, I didn't do it enough, so he basically finished the job. So yeah, great demo, good turn. And also, I think that overaiming provides more control than S-ing, right, Donald?
Yeah, if you were to come back into the server, I could show you.
Okay, sure.
I'm gonna find a nice straight stretch. There we go, okay. So if you're watching me, first of all, the deceleration rate, if I hold S, you can see it takes almost a second for me to come to a stop, even if I'm going only like 600 units per second. You can see how long that takes, right?
Yep.
And then if I overaim at 600 units per second, I almost instantly stop. I didn't move past this, and I started overaiming right here. So I'm gonna do that again so you can see it. Right? I overaimed here, I didn't go past this. So the deceleration is a lot faster if you try to overaim. And holding S while trying to turn, this is really difficult. You have to press 2 keys at once. And that is just, you know, not something I want to do. I want to hold 1 key and be done with it, you know. So I want to use overaiming like this rather than trying to like do something like that. By the way, if you hold S and a strafe key like A or D, you lose control. You can't turn because what you're doing is you're essentially strafing backwards. And we know from our tutorial that while strafing you can't turn.
Right.
So overaiming is just the way to go, basically, guys. Come on.
Okay, I don't think maybe it's not a good idea having Keseport tackle this.
Yeah, this is a very advanced map.
Yeah,
so.
You see, it's very subtle. You have to kind of have it built into your muscle memory basically pretty well before you can do it. So it'll take a long time for Keseport to perfect it to the point where he actually does it. We'll spend like 30 minutes. And I'm not saying Keseport that you know, I'm not saying it against you. It's natural for everyone.
I actually know that map. So yeah, I'm totally fine with it.
All right. Are there any questions regarding the overaiming before we move on to the next subject? By the way, how much time is the stream going?
1 hour.
1 hour. Okay, yeah, we're doing good.
I think we can cram the rest in, yeah.
Yeah, because the other ones are a lot simpler.
Very short, yeah.
Except circle jump, it might take a bit.
We can do that right now.
Okay, let's do the circle jump. Let's build some map. Now, circle jumps are important. Why? You might think that, you know, 100 Quake units per second might not make a difference. Or much difference. Actually, it will, because what happens,
they don't know yet what a circle jump is.
Okay.
Okay, so you saw how at the start we were moving 320 Quake units per second just holding W, right? I'm going to show you that again on this map.
Yeah.
You can see I just move around at 320 units per second, right?
Yeah.
if I hold W. So this is how you would start your run if you didn't know any better. You would start your run with 320 units per second. This is a circle jump, and you can start your run with 600 units per second. And yeah, that's just what I wanted to show.
Yeah.
What did you want to say?
So circle jump is the way to start, and if you start fast, you will stack the speed on top of that good start, and you will make huge improvements. Because if you start poorly, I mean, it could be a question of seconds. You know, that's how much it matters. If you have a good circle jump, you have a good run generally. So let's break it down, Donald.
Alright, so the first step to a circle jump is realizing that if you hold W and a strafe key, like A or D, on the ground, you can already gain a lot of speed. So you can see, if I do this, it's a static 320 units per second. But if I do this, using the maximum speed thing on my speedometer, you can see that I reach something around 490, 500 units. And that's already a lot. You know, using just that, you can start your run with 500 units per second. That's already a great improvement. So that is the first part. That is simply holding W, A or D, depending on which direction you're turning, and then doing a smooth sort of zoom across the screen. You just kind of do it like that. I don't know really what the word for that is.
Well, it looks like a slingshot a little bit, like your slingshot.
Yeah, it does.
So you're kind of doing it moderately fast, actually. It's not a slow movement. It's a pretty sharp movement. So let's go ahead and put a jump to it, Donald.
All right. So this. Oh yeah. So if we want to do just a jump, we're gonna have to go over here. So
when do you jump?
If we do just that, you jump basically after 180 degrees.
Right.
So I look exactly away from where I'm going. This can vary depending on what kind of map construction you're in. Like if you can't go like this exactly straight, you might want to have to adjust your angle just because you won't be able to like go past a wall or something. But on this very ideal scenario, I look exactly away from where I'm going. This is a perfect 180 degrees, and I do the turn and I jump. Again, I look away, turn, jump. Turn, jump, turn, jump, turn, jump. This is just with this little like turn that we do. That is the first part of a circle jump. The second part is something we've already covered, which is strafing, right? So what we can do in order to increase our speed is after gaining speed on the ground like this, we can strafe in air. So if you look closely, if I circle jump, my aim doesn't stop in midair, right? If I were to do that, it would look like that, you know? But we don't do that because we try to gain more speed. So after I circle jump, I immediately transition to strafing. This is going to take a lot of practice to get this right, and I don't expect even Kizabo to be able to get it right.
Okay, but
because
we should just mention that what you're aiming for here again is 600 quake units per second.
Yes.
This is like 600 quake units per second is, think of it as an ideal golden standard. If you're doing 570, you should already feel proud. If you're just starting, it's really good. 560s, you want to improve, but it's also a good result. If you're getting lower than that, don't worry, it'll come with time. And also, Donald, why don't you break it up a little bit more in detail? Because what you're doing is you start from moving forward, right?
Yes, the first thing well, there's not much space here, so I'm going to go to the other side.
Right.
I hold W.
Okay.
I add my strafe key, which in this case is D. And then I do the turn. I want to turn as soon as I press the D key. Right, I don't want any delay because then I just move diagonally and it just throws me off. So as soon as I press D, I also want to start turning. And this rate at which you turn is constant. Every circle jump you do will have the same turning rate if you want to get it right.
Yeah, and you want to jump when you hit the maximum speed on the ground, basically.
Yeah, like I see a lot of people doing this, which is either turning too quickly or
really
just
terrible.
Jumping too quickly. I know.
Yeah.
So you really want to maximize. Like it helps a lot if you just do this on the ground for a couple of minutes. You know, just figuring out at which point you get the most speed using this little maximum speed, you know, gizmo that you have on a speedometer.
But there's good news and bad news. The good news is you'll come to a muscle memory. You will never have to look at your at your speed on the ground or when to take off. And the bad news is, again, it's muscle memory, so it'll take some time to build that.
Yeah, a lot of this mode is a lot about practice and just grinding it. This isn't like a quick learn sort of mode. A crash course won't do you any good.
Okay, let's see if Kissebrot can do it.
Where do?
Left first door.
So yeah.
This is second, I think.
Yeah. No, this is the first door. This is the correct
Oh, okay,
one.
okay. I'm talking about.
You just kind of crouch under the gates.
I think he's at the end, actually. Kissebrot.
No,
No, the end is the black one. This
so
is
which one should I try?
the green one is fine.
Oh, the green one. Okay.
Okay, so I move.
So immediately you can see his speed there was 530 at the end of the jump. Now, that was because he wasn't warmed up, my guess.
Yeah,
but
take a few jumps.
yeah, take a few swings at it.
Okay, 550. That was good. I mean, okay.
One thing I can notice immediately is that he doesn't jump at the apex of his speed. If you look at a circle, you can shortly see the acceleration drop right before he jumps. If you want to do that again, pay attention to the acceleration. You can see it quickly goes negative.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the thing he needs to figure out by analyzing his circle jump if he wants to, do it in slow motion or whatever. And it's just the thing that turns down your speed a little bit. That one was pretty good. That was 560. That one was terrible. He turned way too slowly.
Also, don't forget that after you actually land, the circle jump really isn't complete because you have to drag that strafe. You have to drag the mouse more to the right to keep increasing the speed. It's
if you want to watch me real quick, this is a more accurate simulation of what a map would be like. So if I circle jump, I strafe, I turn, I circle jump, and then I just keep going. This is what a map would look like. You don't stop after the circle jump. It's nice to look at a circle jump here and think, oh, I'm done, right? I made it. I did a circle jump, but this is really just the first step.
Also, Donald, can you show the circle jump again, but this time stress on your crosshair where it stops? Where do you stop? When do you stop turning? Because you're kind of like it hits the center, and then you kind of snap it a little bit, and then you start dragging with your mouse, right?
Yeah. So I do this very quick 180-degree turn. This is the circle jump. Now you don't want to keep going like this because obviously you're just gonna
that's exactly what I
destroy your
want to say. You want to stop at around the center of your screen.
So, like I said, it's a flat 180-degree turn. There's no verticality involved. You can look wherever you want. You can do this.
Yeah.
And then you just want to stop after those 180 degrees. I don't want to see this because obviously you won't go anywhere with that. You want to do this instead. Obviously, what you could see me do there is a more casual circle jump. That was like 90 degrees. You can do that too.
Mm-hmm.
But if you really want to, if the situation is ideal, like here, you have a lot of space everywhere, you really want to do 180 degrees. Now what you don't see here, which is what you saw in Keza, when he did the circle jump, is that little drop in acceleration. If you look at my acceleration now, it's always positive. It never goes orange. Okay. And that's what you want to go for.
Now, Donald, what would be your advice to people who are barely shy from 580, 590? They understand the concept, they do 560, 550, like Kissebrot. What would they need to focus on in order to make that little improvement to reach the goal?
What they need to focus on is, again, the ground acceleration, because my guess is at that point their strafing is very solid. If they get 580, their strafing is normally good enough, because especially at those low speeds, we talked about this, it's very tolerant. You don't have to aim at exactly the right region. You get a lot of speed no matter where you aim, basically. So this was a thing with Islin, which was a guy I was trying to teach as well. His circle jumps, he was rushing them. He was very good at the game already, but he didn't pay any attention to his circle jumps anymore, and so he kind of let them slide. And then when I told him he should do this on the ground, he was getting like 450, right? When in reality you want to get 500 on the ground. So this is definitely the place where people are most likely to fuck up on the ground here.
And you also want to keep dragging that strafe after you land. So again, upon landing, 600 is the ideal. If you hit, personally, if I hit 590, I don't restart.
fine.
I can work with that. I can try to improve the time, and it's okay. 600, it happens. It's great. I get the first checkpoint.
That was 600 right there, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Alright.
now, again, TLDR. Let me go on the other side. You hold W, you press your strafe key and start turning. You do a flat, constant 180 degree turn. You jump at the end of that turn, and then if you're good enough, you try to drag the strafing out of that. So, like this. Any questions? What's the point of the measurement when you take off or land? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Morosopos.
Yeah, he meant if you need to have 600 speed.
Well, on the ground you need to have 500. After the circle jump, you need to have 600. That's what you want to aim for.
What's the point of measurement? So you can, like, if I understand your question right, why we're talking about numbers? Is that the question?
No. It's like, if you want to know where do I need to have those 600, like, speed.
It's after the first jump.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if I do this and I stop jumping after my circle jump, I want to have
so it's not
590 there. No, it is when I land.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on landing. You have to record the time. Like, for example, on the red, you can see it next to the yellow bar. You can see 595. Well, he actually cheated a bit because he... Yeah, 590, for example. 586. Pretty good. Well, Donald is trying... He's holding back. If he was... if he kept going, he would actually do a better circle jump. But that's good.
Alright.
Okay, let's keep going, I guess, with another topic.
Yeah. The next topic at this point is a real world run. So we know all the building blocks. We know strafing, we know turning, and we know circle jumping. And now if we take a little bit of a just a simple strafe map, like I don't know, which one should we choose? You know what? Let's choose RDK-Castle 3.
Sure.
That's a pretty simple one.
How long is it?
Like 20 seconds.
Okay, that's really good.
So I'm gonna do this run, and then Kezubot is gonna do this run, and we're gonna try to see where our runs differ, where Kezubot could improve, and what he already does right as well.
Yeah. Maybe there are interesting focus points we'll pick out and watch a demo. Maybe not. We'll see.
By the way, we forgot a command. There's a command called v_flipped.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people will have a handedness with the circle jump. For me, it's a lot easier to do a right-handed circle jump. I always turn to the right. You don't see me doing this.
That was pretty good.
Because
you don't need the V-flipped.
But yeah, it's not comfortable for me. So there's a command for you to mirror the map horizontally.
Let me show them.
Yeah, it's more comfortable for you.
It's V-flipped 1. What it does, it just mirrors the map. And now you're right. Like if you're comfortable jumping, doing right-handed circle jumps, then you can do it if the map allows you to. So.
All right, so I'm gonna do a run. Let's hope I remember this map.
Yeah.
W turn at the start, strafe, A turn because that's quite tight. Try to strafe here, A turn again. A turn, D turn because I try to lose some speed there. This is difficult. That's difficult jump timing. D turn, A turn. At this point, I only want to do A and D turns basically because the turns are so difficult at this point. So let's see that again. Circle jump, strafe. W turn because it's easy at that point. Fuck, I messed up.
Yeah, no problem.
Circle jump, strafe, W turn, strafe. Strafe, switch, A. Strafe. I keep lagging, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
You can just see me do it, I guess. I mean, you can see my keys, right? So you can just tell from that what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I keep lagging out, but
That's fine.
You've seen my run. We can show Kezubot's run now, I think.
Let's watch the demo first. Because
right. We have a demo. Right. Let's show the demo.
All right. So this is RDK Castle 3. There we go. I'm not gonna go super slow. I'm just gonna go moderately slow so you can see some of the decision that Donald is taking. I'm not sure if this is the run. Probably not. Okay, maybe this one is. Yeah, probably. So he's going with a W turn here. Oh wait, no, that was a mistake. So that's not the run. Probably this one. Or not. Yeah, this fast forwarding thing. Looks like this is the run.
You know, we don't have the best technology here. We're trying to make do.
Yeah, exactly. So he's going with. So far it was W turns. Now it's an AD turn. So he's not turning really sharply. He's trying to keep the smoothness over here. Very smooth. Not losing speed. He's gaining speed when he's turning. Now he's going for the W turn because that was just the most appropriate AD turn. Gaining speed again. Very good. Good job, Donald. Sweet. And also, we didn't focus on circle jump because the demo basically started with 3 fails before the actual run.
Yeah.
So.
So eventually, okay. So this is something I also want to stress. If you're new to the game and you already know these like building blocks, but you don't really know what to do specifically in a map, there is a YouTube channel that uploads most of the #1 records on the main European server to YouTube, and that channel is called youtube.com/packerzonotic. And that's just the server admin that I don't know if he's here right now. Oh, he can't hear us. Oh, that's a shame. You know, shout outs to Packer. Cool guy. Runs the server for us.
Yeah. So.
And yeah, all the runs are there and you can just look.
This is the best way to learn, I think, is just specking and looking at first place runs, because there you can really benefit from that. But let's see Kezabro take a shot.
Yeah, so I just want to stress one thing. I didn't know the map. I have no clue where I'm going, so...
Oh, yeah, that's true. But no problem. Just give it a try. You don't have to repeat everything Donald did. Alright, you're going with an AD turn here because you feel most comfortable with it. No problem. That's really good for sight reading the map, by the way, what you're doing now. Yeah, you probably needed to.
Yeah, you needed to go inside that building.
Yeah, we can't really blame you for this because I would do the same. If I don't know the map, I would just go somewhere.
Yeah, like I said, it takes quite a bit of time to get the feel for a map.
Kezabro, can you start again? That circle jump was terrible. Try harder. Oh yeah, 540.
That's better.
Okay, Kezabro, try to drag that circle jump further. Don't change direction.
See, that was 100 degrees. You want to do 180 degrees.
Yeah, 180 is better.
That was too much, actually. That was like 200.
Yeah, but then he tried to recover from it by changing direction real fast.
Like I said, a lot of this is, muscle memory polish. So if you don't do it right for the first year, it's fine.
Yeah, again, we understand Kezabro doesn't know the map, so he's doing incredibly well right now for.
Yeah, for what situation he's in, he's doing this quite well. That's the wrong way.
That's okay. That's okay. We've seen the turns. We've seen the circle jump. Let's do it again to see the turn. Nice. You did the W turn, the uncomfortable zone for you. That's really cool.
All right. I don't think we need to embarrass him anymore.
Yeah, I would love to go.
Yeah.
Love to go what?
So.
He would love to play it 100 times.
Oh, but I don't know if we can do that on stream.
Yeah, we need to move on, unfortunately.
Alright, I just want to show a couple of things now.
Okay.
Like every strafe map is going to be some combination of these like normal building blocks, but there are some exceptions where you need to be creative. And I'm going to show 2 of those now.
Sure.
Assuming Pecker added them. He didn't.
He didn't? Was it on the list? Because
It was on the appended list that I sent you, like the maps that we need demos for, and I told you we need those maps on the server.
Yeah, I think I was just too busy fixing the stream, I guess.
Okay.
Didn't have much time for that. Okay.
Yeah?
We'll have to work with what we have.
Alright, this is a ghetto stream.
Yeah.
That's okay.
We could vote for the Beta 6. Maybe you could find a good space there.
No, but that's not what it's about. It's about like looking at the map and trying to optimize your route and shit.
Oh, let's move that to the end. Maybe.
No. Okay, Packer. Okay.
Oh yeah,
Packer can't hear us.
No, he can. He's probably watching the stream. Packer, if you can hear us, can you add a map to the server? But in the meantime, when you're doing it, we can cover one other aspect, so we don't waste time.
Yeah. So
wait,
let's go.
Wait. Can we tell Packer what map to add first?
QW. Okay, I don't know. Like, should I just say it or?
No, type it. Type it to Packer. Okay. I heard the ding. Oh my god, I hate my i3 bar popping up when it dings.
Alright, sorry guys for the technical inconveniences here.
Yeah, our tech team is working really hard right now.
Yeah, we got the Geek Squad on the problem right now. In the meantime, we're just gonna have to look at something else. I don't know, let's just do another real life run. Let's do...
Do you want to do a real life run, or should we go... Wait, what's left? I mean, how are we doing?
Well, there's jump pads and ramps and all that stuff.
Oh, okay, so we're near the end. That's good.
Yeah. I don't know, another map isn't on the server.
Wait, is Packer responding?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
We can do probably like one of the Italy maps or something. Oh no, okay, I can do this one. If I can spell it. This is going to be another demo, so...
Okay. So we're gonna play a demo, or what you do it live?
Yeah, I'm going to do it live, try to anyway, and then you're going to show the demo.
Okay.
So this is going to have to do with something that I like to call jump timing. And jump timing is basically the points in the map, like the physical points where your feet hit the ground. So if I start here, you know, my feet are here, my feet are here again, my feet are here, and this is where the jump timing is. My map is still flipped.
Mine is not.
And basically, this is going to be crucial as you get into like optimizing your routes, because right now you can see there are these pads here. If I just strafe ahead and try to go through with maximum speed, I will instantly fail because my jump timing is offset from the timing of these pads. So what I have to do is I have to delay myself, which you will see like this. If I turn in the air like that, I try to delay myself. That way I was able to land on both pads. So again, if I don't change my jump timing, I will fall right in between the pads, like that. If I do adjust for it, you know, I can make it through no problem. I can even... in the demo, I'm actually going to do something a little bit silly. And then after that, there's going to be a difficult strat, which I don't know if I can do it live, but if I can't, Dekri will just show it. Yeah, there you go. So you could see I was able to land on this ramp on the way down and gain like another 100 UPS. That's, you know, that's the kind of optimization that you want to take advantage of, because you do gain all this height in this jump around this little pillar, and then, you know, why waste that height when you can use it to gain speed off of a ramp? So
yeah, again, you don't know anything about the ramps yet, we assume. Some of you do, but we'll just cover it shortly. Also about the jump timing, another way you can look at it as, instead of the timing, you can think of it as you're picking a longer distance, you know, between 2 points. So here you see he's going diagonally, that's covering more distance. So it's just basically also the length of the jump.
Yeah, so like this is going to be pretty much ubiquitous throughout every map that you play. Like right here, it's immediately with this double jump. I can make this double jump only if my jump timing is like around here somewhere. If I jump here, I won't be able to double jump off that ramp. I will instead land on top of it. Then the next thing, the pads. If I have offset jump timing here, I will fall right in between the pads. Then after that, jump timing is important here, because if I don't have the right jump timing like around here, I can't hit this ramp, and then I can't make the skip around the pillar properly. Then after that, if I don't have the right jump timing here, in order to double jump off this, I would have to go around and lose a bunch of speed that way, jump from here to there, rather than from here to there. Right? And it's just gonna keep going. It's like throughout every map, you can think of it as a big chain of jump timings. Here again, you know, pads. I have to do this so that I don't fall in between the pads. And now I think it would be a good time to show the demo, because I do a bit of a crazy strat at the like where I skip around the pillar.
You mean where you're in the beginning of the map when you're doing the pillars? Yeah.
Yeah, no, first the pads, but then what I mean is this. I jump off of that ramp, and then I do something crazy there.
Alright, let's watch it. So this is RV3. RV3, here we go. This looks really cool on my screen. I mean the fast forwarding. Taking your sweet time to first this, Donald. Okay, I think after this fail, this is the real deal run. Okay, let's see this slow-mo, what you're doing here. Oh, you did the 180. Did you do the 180? Oh no, that was a fake run. That was a fake run. You do the 180 again.
Yeah, again, you know, we try to make this as smooth as possible for the stream, but you know, the technology is just not there yet. So.
Oh, I see what you're doing. That's amazing.
You see, like I double jump off that tiny little ramp.
Yeah.
And then I go really tight in the corner.
Yeah. I mean that requires a lot of skill actually to do that, and also creativity. That's most important, because he's thinking outside the box, and that's what you should try to do as well. Try things. If you see a ramp, there are so many possibilities that open up. Again, another 180 over here. Very nice, Donald.
It's just about like thinking, where are my jump timings right now? And with that, how can I work with that? How can I try to cut out like a distance, or like how can I try to speed up without, you know, offsetting my jump timing such that I fall in between two pads or something like that.
Yeah. So here's the W turn. Here's the AD turn. So again, guys, go out there, study the demos, take a look at the videos. There's a lot of cool information here. Like this demo alone should be so helpful. And
yeah, we're gonna upload these demos somewhere later, and we're just gonna link them.
Yeah, exactly. Good idea. So let's try to vote that map again in case Packer heard us and responded. If not, then we'll just move on to the next
let's see.
Subject.
Packer has forsaken us.
That's no problem.
It's not there.
Okay, so
we
keep going. What's next?
Next would be wall strafing. So I don't actually know a good map to show this, so I'm gonna have to look.
Sure. LS Maps, your friend.
Yeah, true. You know what, we can probably do that. Which is also not on the server.
You added a bunch. You appended a bunch of maps. Damn.
Here we go. Okay. Wait, did I misspell the rest of them? Am I accusing Packer for something he didn't do? Hang on.
That would be funny, because usually it's Packer fault, man. Let's keep it that way, please.
Okay, no, I didn't mess up. He didn't add them.
Okay, well, he probably didn't add them because I didn't tell him, because...
Yeah, it's okay. You know, we're not pointing fingers or anything.
Yeah, sure. It's still Packer's fault, whatever.
Yeah, fuck him. It's PG-13?
Dude, you already said that like 5 times.
Alright, so wall strafing. Wall strafing, you know how wall... Like, you want to strafe like this normally?
Yeah.
You have to, like, switch directions and all that. You can do this against a wall. So if I do it here... you can see that I have this maximum strafe acceleration if I aim correctly. And you can have this without a problem for any speed, you know, you just have to aim correctly against it. This is useful on some maps. It's very situational though, and usually you're just better off strafing normally, because, you know, if I do it here, I will waste so much time getting here, and then I can't even do this turn through the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I like this, I hit this, and then, you know, it's not useful to me at all.
Basically, if you have an abnormally long hallway, then this is really good, because you don't have to worry about switching directions. You just stick to the wall. It's just constant good acceleration if you can keep up the good angle. So the way he's doing it, if you looked at the keys, Donald, can you demonstrate again? I'll break it up for them. Look at the keys. So he's pressing strafe right, and he's also moving the mouse towards the wall. You see his crosshair is changing angles slightly.
This is the exact same thing as if I was doing it without the wall, except I'm not moving to the right, right? I still move my mouse to the right, but physically I stay against the wall, so...
Yeah, and there's also a factor of dynamic zone changing when he's increasing speed. When he's increasing speed, what happens, Donald?
Well, I move... Well, the angle between my direction of movement, which is like this, if I strafe against the wall, and the direction I have to aim in order to get strafe acceleration increases. So you can see I aim further and further toward the wall. I start out like this, and like over here somewhere.
Alright, it's really difficult to show on this wall because it's pretty short, but what happens at a higher speed is basically this. When you start off, when you just start off with a low speed, you're moving the mouse towards the wall a little bit faster first. So the mouse movement is a bit faster towards the wall, but when you get to the higher speed, you need to slow down that mouse movement to have a very, very subtle wall strafing. Like, I mean, when you put your mouse to the wall. You know what I'm saying, Donald? Can you?
Yeah, the rate at which you will move your mouse will decrease as your speed increases. It's the same thing with normal strafing. It's the same thing with turning. This is a very general principle. You know, I can't. With turning, we already explained this, I can't turn on a dime like that.
Yeah,
I will lose a lot of speed.
It's a very easy concept, so all beginners will have a good time doing this, I think. And again, getting fast results with wall strafing.
Alright, so TLDR, you can strafe against the wall like this. The angle is the same as if you were strafing normally. And it's very situational. If the number one record doesn't use it, you probably shouldn't use it, basically.
Yeah.
Next up, do you want to do slick?
Yes,
or should we? Okay, let's do we have a slick map?
Yeah, we should. Let's take a look. LS maps. Oops.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I think so. Isn't it? Basically, this is the list before the appended.
Oh, so we have like all the weapon maps too. Okay.
Yeah.
I see. I might be able to pull a jump pad from one of those eventually.
Okay. Nope.
Okay, so slick. To all the reflex players, this might be new to you. Because, haha, they don't have slick because their engine sucks. So, slick is basically frictionless ground movement. In slick, like this, you can see it's icy. Some people call it icy, some people will call it slick. But you can just slide around like this. You don't want to jump unless it's necessary because you have to do this, for example. You know, you might have to jump here. But basically, the best way to accelerate in slick is by gliding on the ground like this.
AD.
And you can see already I'm at 2000 UPS when I get to that. And obviously I'm failing right now.
Yeah, he has to do these jumps, and it's kind of tough to get at the beginning when he's warming up.
Again, I can turn on a dime at the start, but then if I get to like 2000 UPS, if I try to turn quickly, I can't, because I have to turn slowly the faster I go. And this is not a slick tutorial, this stream, so this is just something we're glossing over real quick.
Yeah, we'll focus on that a bit later in detail, because actually it's not as easy as it looks to get it 100% right. But really, TLDR this real quick.
You hold only A or D. You don't hold W ever. You don't jump ever unless you have to. And when you're holding A, you move your mouse to the left. When you're holding D, you move your mouse to the right. The rates at which you do is something you'll have to learn through feel.
Yeah, but as you can see, the turning, the AD turning is a lot faster than you would use doing your regular strafe turns and stuff. It's actually very fast and aggressive.
Alright, so here's a rule of thumb. You want to maximize the amount of time you spend on the ground. You don't want to double jump off that, because you can see I get a lot of air. Instead, what you want to do is you want to try to minimize the amount of air time you get, like that, such that I immediately hit the ground again over here. I didn't double jump off it, because then I would have landed over there. That's just a little rule of thumb, little goodie if anyone here wants to learn some slick. But again, that's not what we're here for.
Yeah.
I have one question. What's double jump?
Okay. Oh. Okay. A double jump. I guess that's
yeah.
something we didn't explain. A double jump is when you jump once, like right here, and you jump again off of a surface that is above you. So if I do this, that was not a double jump. You can see I gain a lot of height. I can almost clear the entire platform with that. But if I don't do it quickly enough, I don't gain as much height, basically. Let's look at this wall over here. I got all the way up there, right? With a double jump. With a normal jump, I don't get that high.
Yeah, it kind of looks like you're tripping over it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's a double jump. You jump once, you jump again within a short period of time. And that was something we didn't think of to explain, but thank you, Kezabot. Always there to, keep us grounded.
Yeah, we're so used to these terminologies. We've used them 1,000 times, and we just, take it as a given. So sorry if we misled you.
If anyone else amongst the viewers has a question like that, please do ask it, because we will forget to clarify it otherwise.
Yeah. So ramps and tellies, I think that's what's left, right?
Well, yes, and jump pads.
And jump pads. So if we can cover that in 10 minutes, that would be great.
I would have to find a map that has a jump map. Has a jump pad.
By the way, if you can't find the map that has a jump pad on it, then don't worry. We'll just bring it over to part 2 and cover the jump pads first, and then do the weapons. Because part 2, guys, will focus on the weapons. The date is not yet determined. We'll announce it, of course, shortly after the stream.
I think what we should do then is take another demo and just play through it in slow motion, because I think what's important is, beyond just explaining the concepts, we have to show how they're applied in a run.
Okay.
So let's do... I'm not sure. Yeah, let's do df_train.
Okay.
So if you would pull that up for me. There's a couple of interesting concepts that I have to use in that map. One of which is over-aiming, and I think Dekri's gonna figure out where that is pretty quickly.
Yeah. So, can you repeat the map name again?
df_train.
df_train. Dude, I don't think we have that. We have df_Aztec and df_double.
Double. You know what? Sure, let's just do double then. If we don't have df train,
okay,
let's be Packer fault.
Yeah. Packer fault. Totally Packer fault.
Right. So this is this map is more of a just general strafe run. It's you can just see where I try to optimize the amount of time that I spend strafing.
This is the Counter-Strike looking map, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think this is the real run.
Leave him. Yeah, but we don't have that map, Miriam.
Oh, nice. I think you crouched there, right? Okay. Yeah, that's a double jump right there.
Sorry guys, I can't narrate this because I don't know what's going on in the run.
Yeah, I'm playing it really slowly, and actually everything here is clear. So I pointed out that double jump, you have really good AD turns over here.
I mean, you can see it.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Alright, we'll dissect it in detail then. Okay, I'm just getting familiar with the run right now. Okay, that was a good over-aim over there at the end. Okay, let's play it again. Okay, here we go. So here's the circle jump I want to show. This is what it looks like in slow motion. So he's hitting 596 on landing. W. He releases the strafe here just to be safe to make it between these boxes. Okay. Double jump there. Here he goes. Wait, no. Hold on. Damn. I didn't see that. Yes. Let me redo this real quick. Sorry, guys.
Oh no.
Yeah. I don't know how long that has been, by the way.
Guys, how long has that been the case?
Yeah. So let's just run the demo again. Sorry about that.
Sorry guys, we're new to this still. You know,
Yeah.
Technical difficulties are to be expected.
Okay, so here's the circle jump in slow motion. So he decides to go a little bit different. It's not exactly a 180 turn because you see that the map restricts him from doing that. So it's a bit at an angle, but he still has a good circle jump here at 595. He releases the strafe key to adjust his position, direction. Now he's gonna go for a double jump over here. That's another point of interest. While keeping the strafe, he never lets go of the strafe when he doesn't have to. So a very good AD turn over here. Back to strafe instantly. Another AD strafe over here, trying not to hit that ceiling. So he was actually holding crouch to not bump his head. Okay, now he's not really strafing because he's focused again in making these very narrow passages. Okay, strafing, pedal to the metal. That's a very tight turn over here. Double jump to make that across. Now that's a good zigzag, AD zigzagging. Okay, strafe turn here. There's going to be another double jump here to cut. Yes. Straight turning. He's keeping the speed, and it's basically he's gaining the speed while making these turns, which is really important. Again, he crouched a bit not to bump his head. Okay, I think I'm gonna slow down here. So he's as far as I remember, he's gonna over aim here. Let's see. Okay, that wasn't there. Hits the slope. Oh, actually, he missed the slope barely. I want to get to that over aim part. Yeah, this is gonna be here. Okay, I kind of missed the over aim, dude.
Come on, man.
Yeah. But
well, at the end of the map, there's a really narrow gap between the two doors that you have to get through.
Yeah, actually,
really, yeah.
I didn't catch it. It was there. I was rolling really slowly. Did you guys see it, or do I have to play it again? Damn.
Well, I mean, I think they saw it. You know, they
Yeah.
can go. YouTube has this nice little rewind feature, so you can just go back if you want. It's very, you know, me looking at it now, it's very obvious. Right before the little cavern at the end where the doors are, I slowed down from about 1400 to about 1250 just to make the turn at the end in between the two doors more controllable and thus easier for me.
Yeah, but even from that demo alone, it's just packed with all these different elements that we were talking about. Double jumps, strafe turns, it's everywhere. Every second there's something going on.
Let's do another demo. Let's do df_Aztec. That's
okay.
another very complex strafe map.
Okay. Oh yeah, this one will take a while to fast forward, actually.
Oh, is it?
No,
is
no,
it that long?
Yeah, it's pretty long, but no problem. Just talk.
Alright.
Can you talk a little bit about what we're gonna expect here?
All right, so that map is a very is very much focused on trying to optimize the amount of strafing you can do. There's a lot of tight turns and a lot of narrow double jumps, like very difficult double jumps that you want to hit in order to minimize the distance. And in between all those, you have to. So first of all, you have to try to make those happen, and then on top of that, you want to try to strafe as much as you can. So you're gonna see like some very narrow turns at the start, a double jump across a bridge, which is really difficult to get, and it's gonna look insane, I think, if you try to slow it down. And then after that, it's just pure strafing, trying to not turn too quickly, such that, you know, at the speed that I'm going, I don't lose any speed by turning.
Okay, here we go. W turn. Another W turn. That's a good decision. Another W turn. Now that was a good double jump there, on top of that crate. Here's some AD turning. That's a long turn. That's some cutting the turns here. Narrow doorways again. Strafing as much as you can. So basically, you want to pick out. You want to pack the most strafes in as you can, as the map allows you to, which Donald is doing. Strafe turn over here under the bridge. Another strafe turn. He's doing strafe turns because look, his speed is 1500, so he has to. Okay, and here's the finish line. That's it for the demo.
Yeah. So basically, if you eventually you want to get to the point where you can look at a run and just exactly you like that you can tell what the player is doing because it's the right thing to do. So like I can look at a run and say, okay, strafe turn, strafe, double jump there in order to, you know, minimize jump timing or whatever. To new players, I guess that's going to be like kind of impossible because they might not know all the concepts. But eventually, even if you're not a top player yourself, it's important that you can look at a run and understand why it's saving time over other runs.
Okay, so Donald, what do you think about covering ramps, tellies, and jump pads another time, in part 2?
Yeah, sure.
Because primarily it's already 2 hours almost, and we've covered everything we wanted to cover except those 3 elements, but we didn't have the maps for it. We weren't prepared very well for that last part. So what we're gonna do, guys, we're gonna stop here and take any questions at the end, and the next time we're gonna stream these 3 elements: ramps, tellies, and jump pads, and then weapons. It's probably gonna be a much shorter stream next time, so this was just very important. It was strafes, circle jumps, strafe turns, basically everything to get you started and run already lots of the maps so you can have fun with. Any questions, guys? Last questions. Maybe something we didn't cover that was that you wanted to, that you were looking for.
Any questions from Käsebrot, maybe?
Yeah, I'm just thinking like some of these techniques are really advanced from my perspective.
What
would you advise to focus at first if you're really a new player?
If you're really a new player, I want you to focus on strafing and getting down that little flick in between the strafe regions, such that you can really optimize the amount of speed that you can gain from strafing. Because chances are, if you're a new player, your turning is going to be bad. Your transitions between strafing and turning is going to be bad. And that's just something that takes a lot of time. Well, as does everything and such. I think the first thing that you should spend a lot of time trying to figure out is the flick in between strafe regions. And just getting a feel for where the strafe regions are in the strafing.
I agree with Donald, and I'm going to add something real quick. Don't get fixated too much on making perfect circle jumps and restarting all the time without running the map. If you can't do a perfect CJ, that's okay. Do the best you can, but then still run the map. Focus on other elements as well. Don't just train one thing. Try to do these strafes and strafe turning. So I think these three elements, circle jump, strafing, and strafe turns, these three, if you train those hard enough, you'll get a solid framework of most runs, and then just expand from there.
Yeah, there's some more questions in chat. Morosopos, I repeat my question unanswered. That's a shame. Is crouching during strafe turning effective? What he's talking about, Dekri, if you want to spectate me real quick.
Yeah.
I will do something quite often where I crouch during a strafe turn like this, especially during really tight strafe turns like this. Now, whether or not that's effective, honestly, I don't know. But I do it because it makes me feel better.
No, it's actually bad because when you crouch and turn, you do not accelerate, right? And when you don't crouch and turn, strafe turn, then you do accelerate. Can you prove me wrong here, please?
I'm proving you wrong right now.
You're not.
Check this out.
Okay.
That's about 20, right?
Yeah. Okay, so you do. All right. So AD does increase the speed, but what if you crouch and strafe? Then it
what I did.
Wait, no, strafe. Like W.
Yeah, no, you can't crouch while strafing. That will not work. But during strafe turning, which is what Morosopos asked about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, so that's cool. So strafe turning plus crouching is also a speed gain.
Yeah, I don't know if it does anything if you crouch. I just do it because I've always done it.
Yeah. I do it too sometimes, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are easy maps to practice strafe jumping or CJs? Alright, one easy map, well, one really good map for practicing that is the map cos1_beta7b. I'm going to write the name in the chat. This is the map that we used at the very start in order to show what strafing was, with the really long corridor, with the nice like circle jump pads and all that. That's not a map that you will find on any server, but it's a map that you can play offline if you'd like. The other map that I would recommend for practicing circle jumps is a map called XPM -CJ, which is, that's just sort of a bunch of circle jumps chained together, and you can practice on that if you want. That's my two recommendations for like very isolated training, like none of this is going to be real world experience, as in like these aren't going to be actual defrag maps. These are just training maps with ideal conditions. Is there a straight... Oh wait, I think Mirio might have meant that differently. Okay, so some easy defrag maps. I actually have a list of real world sort of defrag maps on which you can practice the individual concepts. I'm gonna be putting that on the forum post, so it's gonna have maps for every concept, for over aiming, for circle jumping, for difficult turns and all that stuff. And there will be like different skill levels for each of those concepts, and I think you would really be able to benefit if you go through all of those maps. But like I said, that's gonna be on the forum post, so check out the forum post if you want that list. I'm gonna put that after the stream. Is there a straight flat map to practice strafe jumping? LD_Sanlo. Well, there are some.
Isn't there like a flatland?
Yes, there's a map called Flatland, so I'm gonna write that in the chat.
You might have seen Bumpy Land as well. It's basically a variation of a flatland, but it's bumpy with these different double.
So this is a map that is really long. It's like 1.5 minutes if you get a good time on it. And this map is basically a lot of strafing at the start, and then a lot of strafe turning afterwards. So you gain a lot of speed, and then you have to maneuver through the map in order to keep your speed. So LD_Sanlo, I would give you this map as a recommendation to practice strafe jumping if you want to do it in a real life map. Otherwise, go to COS1_beta7b. That's the map you want if you just want to have a long corridor where you can practice your strafe angles. Mirio, here's the thing, Mirio.
What is he asking? I'm not seeing it.
He said yes, he wants maps you can find on a server. The main server where people are playing, which is the server that Packer runs, has a rotating map pool. So if you really want like a static map pool, we can ask Packer. Maybe he can set up like a separate instance or something. I don't know if he's gonna do it. I'm putting the pressure on him right now, but let's hope we can pressure him into doing it.
Yeah, I'll just also say a few words about Packer. He's been really helpful. Actually, we're flaming him just for fun because the Packer Fault meme and everything. But big thanks to Packer. He's done a lot as usual, and most of the stuff regarding technical problems is our fault. But just shouting it out there.
Yeah, like for example, the YouTube system, the automated YouTube upload is entirely Packer's doing. He was the one who made that happen, and I think that's invaluable for Xonotic.
I think that Packer is basically the best thing that happened to Defrag in Xonotic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, that's enough. That's enough.
Enough. Yeah, that's enough. Yeah, it's boosting his ego. It's actually all his fault, guys. I'm kidding, of course.
Alright, so yeah, like I said, the big map list that I would recommend to all new players is going to be on the forum post. And otherwise, maps are going to rotate on the individual servers, so if all else fails, you just have to download the map yourself and run a local game. Or, bug the server admins to add a particular map that you want. Or, like I said, make a separate server instance, but, that's a lot of work.
Donald, what do you think? Should we reveal the Part 3 secrets, or should we keep it a surprise?
I think we should keep it a surprise. There's a little bit of a surprise waiting in later parts, guys, but,
Yeah, so
don't want to spoil it.
Part 2, again, ramps, teles, jump pads, the ones that we didn't cover today, because it's just too much, and weapons. We're going to go through every weapon in detail. Haggering, lots of people are having problems with haggering. What's the right angle? How do you gain speed while haggering? How do you keep yourself up? Rocketing, with rocket jumps, if you go too fast and you rocket under your feet, you probably notice that you're not gaining any height. How to combat that? We're gonna basically talk about all these stuff. So if you like this stream, please tune in to the second part.
Also, if you didn't like this stream, or you had something that you think could have been done better, please tell us in the forum post, because we're not really sure what we're doing with this format. We just kind of thought this would be a neat thing to do. So if we're making mistakes or if there's something we could improve upon, we would definitely want to know that.
Well, we already know that we weren't too prepared. Well, not too prepared. We weren't prepared enough because of the map pool. That didn't work.
Yeah.
And the stream, it's just too long, 2 hours. We wanted to keep it 1 hour 30 minutes, but we did the best we could. Next time we'll improve on that. And anything else, please write in the comments or in the forum. Any more questions?
And yeah. Also, if you want the demos. There are many more demos. We have a demo pack for all of the maps that are going to be on the list. The little list of recommended maps that every noob should check out. We're going to have all of my demos for those runs, for those maps, also on the forum post. So if you want to check those out in more detail, slow them down at parts, you can do that this way. And yeah, if anyone else has any more questions, we already did Slick Santi, but if we can do it, or Sinity, we can do it in more detail in a different part. Entirely dedicated to slicking. By the way, guys, if you have questions, more in-depth or individual questions, we have a Discord dedicated to XDF, which I'm gonna link in the stream chat. And hopefully Decree is going to add it to the description of this stream.
Yeah, I will, definitely.
So I'm going to just fetch the invite real quick.
Yeah. And if you don't like Discord for various reasons, there are a lot of people that don't. You can always tune into XDF channel on QuakeNet IRC. That's also acceptable. And forums, of course.
Yeah, YouTube doesn't allow me to post links in the chat, so guys, that is the Discord invite code.
Wait, hold on. Can you post it on server? Just chat server.
I can post it in TeamSpeak.
Okay. Well, no, I mean, you're still on the server, right? You can just write it. Oh, but then they will have to write it down. Never mind.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. And then I'm gonna link the forum post, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can do that, if you can post links.
Yeah.
But see, do I get banned for posting this?
Also, Donald and I
Almost.
have more ideas about the streams. We're just not gonna go public with it yet, but there's if everything goes well and you guys are interested in this, we can expand further beyond part 2, and you know, I'm not gonna say anything else, but hopefully we're gonna be successful with that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know why I can't post links, but like I said, Decree is hopefully gonna add all this stuff to the description.
Of course.
Alright, so yeah, I don't think there are any more questions, because I don't see any of them in the chat. Kizabot, do you have anything else?
I was wondering, is there a difference between, like, strafing in air or when you land? Like, does it matter if I bunny hop a lot or if I go for airtime?
Oh, you mean like if you spend more time in the air?
Yeah.
No, there's no difference. Whether you're in the air or not doesn't change your acceleration. What it will change is the speed you gain from a ramp, obviously, but we're going to cover that in a different video. But TLDR, the amount of airtime you have does not change your acceleration.
Yeah, but a little teaser for the ramps. It matters how you hit the ramp. You can hit the ramp to go higher, but that would affect your horizontal velocity and it would decrease it. Or you could hit the ramp in a way that you don't go so high, but you preserve that horizontal velocity to the maximum that you can. So with that in mind, I think we can end the stream, right? Any last words?
Yeah, no, I don't think there's anything else to say. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, see you on the next one.
See you on the next one. Thank you, guys.